Alright, man, we back in the superhero world again. We start off with the heroes talking about the USJ incident and how they don't have any leads. And they low-key frying Shigaraki, calling him a man-child. Say that to his face, little bro, I dare you. They then talk about the society and that. And then we go back to our main character, Izuku Midoriya. And then we get to see some normal classroom antics and stuff, you know what I'm saying? We all did this back in the day. Or some of you might be doing it right now, I don't know. And we see that Aizawa, he really is the coolest, okay? Everything in him broken, but he's still back to teaching. Low-key, this would annoy me, I can't lie. Like, please go home, take some rest. I want a substitute teacher, man, come on. And here he announces the UA Sports Festival. And this is basically the new Olympics. And if you do good, you can get internships that will make or break your career. And even though they went through what I would assume is a school shutting down type of disaster, this is their way of showing like, hey, it will never happen again. Look at us, we standing tall and stuff. And showing that no villains will break us, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, everybody's super duper excited, especially Uraraka. And that's because she's super duper poor. So yeah, you know, I can't hate a bag chasing person, man. That's not me. But her parents are good people though, you know, even though she's willing to help them and stuff. Especially with her quirk. They're like, yo, like follow your own dreams, you know, be your own person and stuff, you know, real supportive type people. I respect it. All Might then pulls up and Izuku had lunch with him. And yeah, he tells them that after that fight with the Nomu, he can barely use his powers anymore. And tells Izuku like, yo, lock in. It's your turn now, you know what I'm saying? This festival is your debut. You gotta look at the world, be like, I am here, you know what I'm saying? We then get some boring mumbo jumbo about how the tournament works. And we see that our class has a target on their back. And this purple hair guy, he declares war on them. This, where I get some respect for Bakugo, he's like, yo, it doesn't matter, you know, forget all these people. As long as we win, that's what matters, you know, I respect it. The class and do their training and stuff. And I will once again mention that Hagakure got a better score than Midoriya on the fitness test. And here she can't do a pull-up. Neither can I though, I can't hate too much. I'm just hating to hate, I can't lie. But purple hair should have taken her spot, man. I'll tell y'all about that later. The festival then starts and you know, we gotta get some fan service. And here Todoroki starts being like an actual character. And he's like, yo, Midoriya, I'm gonna beat you too, bro. Cause like All Might's in your corner and stuff, you know, I'm gonna beat you and beat number 1 as well. All I'm saying that Midoriya bottom feeder, but everybody wants to challenge him, you know, he's like that. And the festival is hosted by the GOAT, President Mike, and Aizawa there too, I guess. And then we get a glimpse of the other classes. No one cares though. But this festival is important and stuff since it showcases other stuff, like the support heroes gadgets and the business courses, business skills and stuff. And at the front we see the symbol of fan service for this show, which is Midnight. And she should not be allowed to wear that at school, man. That's crazy. By the way, this is a toned down version, okay? And Bakugo, being the best student in the exam, he gives a speech and says that you all suck and I will win. Respect it. But yeah, the first game is an obstacle course. And yeah, it's a mad dash with 1A blasting forward. Purple here getting carried in the back. And their second obstacle is Robot, which Todoroki freezes through and slides ahead. And this is an introduction to Tetsu, and he's basically a metal Kirishima. But yeah, the rest of the students make their way through with 1A because of the USJ experience moving further than most. Because you know, now they have like the ability to make decisions quickly and all that. And even Izuku, man, he's using a metal piece to deal with the robots, so he doesn't have to use the power and just break everything. The second is a pit that's easy enough to cross. Here's a goat pink hair man. She's using her gadgets, which she calls her babies, and she's using that to cross. And then, you know, Ida got some moves. I don't know what he's doing though. I mean, alright, yo, he's getting through, okay, that's what matters. But yeah, the last one is a minefield, and Bakugo going for assault. I don't know why you wouldn't just fly ahead. You had this. I don't know why he's like this. But yeah, Izuku in the back, he gathers up some mines, and he uses those to fly ahead, man. Hitting a wombo combo, and blasting all the way to first. Look at my goat, man, he deserves this. With Todoroki coming second, and Bakugo coming third. And you already know he's tweaking out. But here's the second game, which is a team battle. And here being first means that you have the most points, which is 1,000,000. Which really sucks because that means everybody will go in for you. But yeah, you team up, and you have to get everyone else's points, and hope you have enough to be in the top 4. But yeah, they form groups. And here's another problem for Midoriya, which is that since he has so many points, no one wants to team with him. Luckily, Uraraka, Hatsume, pink hair, and Tokoyami pulled through, and they're like, yeah, we'll team up with you. And Midoriya shows off his intelligence, man. He shows up why he was chosen as the successor to All Might, because in that little time, he came up with a strategy using everything they had to offer. And yeah, that's how he stays away from all the other teams when they're like rushing him. I guess I should mention like other notable teams. One is Mineta, who's hiding in Shoji's arms, with Sue, who's like sticking her tongue out to grab stuff. This is the reason the strategy breaks down, because you know his purple hair kind of break the equipment. Then there's Bakugo's team, and he's just flying around. I don't know how that's allowed. They say that he didn't touch the ground, so I guess it's legal. I don't know about that, bro. I can't lie. But if that's allowed, can't Uraka just like float Deku really high and then wait until the match is over and then drop him? Maybe she's just not strong enough to do it. I don't know. But yeah, here I should mention that his headbands get taken by Monoma, and he's making him angrier than Deku. Didn't expect that ever. So it's mostly between Team Todoroki and Midoriya. Since everybody that's about to jump them gets fried by Kaminari, who almost fried Dark Shadow by the way. And here, Ida uses a super jet mode, and in one swift movement, they get the headband, forcing Midoriya to go on defensive, and the two clash, with Midoriya using his quirk successfully and getting the headband. But it wasn't a 10 million one. Of course, they would mix it up, come on man. And the timer then runs out. But luckily, Tokoyami using Dark Shadow is able to grab a headband, letting them advance. Also, let's go to Bakugo, and he's geeking out, man. Of course he is. And what? Monoma can use Explosion? That's crazy. I'm kidding. His quirk is copy. He can borrow one quirk for like 5 minutes. But yeah, Bakugo getting rage baited, which is stupid since he starts chasing them like a bloodhound, okay? That boy gave up everything just so he can beat them, which is why at the end you see him go splat and Monoma not advance because he took everything from him. Also, I should mention that Shinso's team also takes Tetsu's points, who were like number 2 both of the game, and they do that because of his quirk, which is mind control. Pretty cool. And after the game, we see that Midoriya is meeting with Todoroki and All Might is meeting with Endeavor. I wonder if there's any correlation. And Todoroki asks him if he's All Might's love child, this boy the detective or something. But I can see where he's coming from, okay? Like All Might is in his corner a lot. And All Might, who's currently talking to Endeavor, the number 2 hero by the way. And Endeavor's talking about some Shoto will beat you because I made him for that. What the hell? And Todoroki explains that Endeavor got married to his mother for her quirk, which if you can't guess is like freezy. And they wanted to make a lot of kids because his quirk's weakness, which is that he overheats, can be neglected by the freeziness part. And he's able to succeed obviously with Todoroki. Everybody in that family is basically miserable, especially his mother. And yeah, Bakugo listened like a creep. Come on man, let them have their moment. But you know, Deku not giving up, talking about some I will beat you. You then get some random garbage with Mineta giving y'all some more fan service, and the finals is a tournament. But here Tail Guy drops out because he feels like he doesn't deserve it since he got mind controlled by the purple hair. And same with this guy, with Midnight allowing it. And the two who join the tournament are Tetsu and Plant Hair. And Izuku's first match is against Purple Hair, and after seeing Cementos' quirk, I can see why Uraka's family is struggling, man. Come on now. He makes construction seem super easy. This is why we need union, man. Remember that. But yeah, Midoriya gets a pep talk by All Might and gets ready to fight Purple Hair, and his name is Shinso. He immediately rage baits Midoriya by making fun of Tailman, calling him a monkey and stuff. And Shinso's power activates when someone responds to him, so yeah, Midoriya under mind control. Also, Tailman explains all this, like, yeah, this is how his quirk works, this is what you have to do. And Midoriya still falls for it. And even Aizawa said that the entrance test isn't fair, since Shinso's quirk is actually one of the strongest we've ever seen. I agree, I'm not gonna lie, like, it's mind control. But yeah, he tells Midoriya to walk out, and he starts doing it. But at the last moment, he sees some ghosts who force his quirk to activate, breaking his fingers, which break him out of the brainwashing. Shinso then tries to rage bait him again, but it doesn't work, and Midoriya throws him out the arena, winning. Man, is she wearing cuffs, bro? That cannot be necessary for her. Okay, I didn't even notice that. But yeah, we get Shinso's backstory about how everybody said that he would be a villain, but all he wanted to be was a hero and a good person. But yeah, he gets glazed from his classmates and pro heroes, and yeah, they're right. He genuinely deserves all of this. His quirk is OP, better than half of 1A at least. Izuku gets patched up and tells All Might about the ghost, and even he's creeped out, man. I'm just kidding, he saw those too. Yeah, that means that All Might is losing his quirk and Midoriya is getting more of it, I guess. The next match is between Zero and Todoroki, and before the match he talks to his father, so he's real mad, and he hits that boy with a sorry, but get out of my way, and then freezes that boy real quick, hitting him with a sheer cold, obliterating the arena. He then melted down. What a nice guy. And Midoriya in the back are thinking like, damn, he's so sad all the time. The next match is between Plant Hair and Kaminari, and I think she's real religious and stuff. But yeah, she hard counters him, so she wins. And this is the start of Monoma's gag of clowning 1A, saying that 1B is better, and Kendo hitting him with the Cobra Kai special. Next is Ida and Hatsume, and she decks him out in support gear, and basically uses him to showcase all her babies. Also, her quirk is basically why I download Optifine, which is to Zoom. But yeah, after a lot of hard work, she leaves. Go to side character, man. I can't lie. She's going for that money using her passion, man. I respect it. The next one is Mina versus Aoyama. And she skates around him until he gets a tummy ache, and then she hits him with a nasty uppercut. What is this visual, bro? Why is he getting so excited? This does not look like smoke. The next is Tokoyami versus Yaoyorozu, and Dark Shadow generally destroys her shit, easily winning, leaving her hell upset. Next is Kirishima and Tetsu, whose last name is also Tetsu, so he's Tetsu. Wow, that was hard to say. But yeah, their fight takes forever. And the next match is with the Doraka, and before a match, she takes some time. She's about to get some support from her friends, but she turns it on. She's like, yeah, I want to win this with my own skills. But yeah, back with those two, they knock each other out, so it's a draw. And the next match starts, which is Bakugo versus Uraraka. And you can already guess how this match is going to go, man. He's absolutely destroying her shit. It's so bad that people in the crowd start shouting at him, saying that he's just torturing the girl, which is when Eraserhead steps in with the, whoever said that, leave right now. Because he's actually taking her serious, rather than treating her like easy picking. But I don't know, I agree that, yeah, he's showing his opponent respect and stuff. But at the same time, he hard counters her. Even if she floats him, he can just fly. But whatever. The fight eventually leads to Uraraka showcasing her special, which is Meteor Smash, which Bakugo blasts away alongside her. But yeah, after that, she's just done and passes out, with Bakugo winning the match. Which, once again, you told me he could have just blasted her out instantly at the start. Wouldn't doing that also show more respect and acknowledge her strength? Yeah, I'm taking you seriously to a point where I'm not even gonna let you do anything, I know if you get something going, you're gonna beat me, so I'm just gonna blast you real quick. I feel like that shows more respect, if anything. But yeah, he does acknowledge her, saying that she's like that and she's not frail. But it's so sad. She's weeping and stuff when her parents call, and she's doing all this for her parents, man. Yeah, she's lucky to go. But yeah, we get a finish on Kirishima and Tetsu's match, which is now arm wrestling, with Kirishima winning. Before the next match, Midori gets rolled up by Endeavor, and he says, you're just like All Might, so Shoto has to beat you to show that he can. With Midori saying, yo, Shoto is not your vessel, bro. He's not like that. He's his own person. So yeah, the next round is between the successors of the number 1 and the number 2 heroes, man. Before the match, we get some backstory that Endeavor was working Todoroki to the bone since day 1, and that he also partook in domestic abuse. Okay. To a point that his loving mother just looked at his fireside and geeked out, ended up burning her own kid, which is so sad. And then Endeavor locked her up, which is why Todoroki hates him so much. Yeah, he's a bad dude, I can't lie. But yeah, Todoroki just like Izuku, because he was also inspired by All Might, by the way. He generally is okay, everybody inspired by him. But yeah, back to it. Shoto shooting the ice, and Midoriya breaking his fingers to counter him. And he keeps doing it, even breaking his arm. And eventually double breaking his fingers as Todoroki starts to freeze over. And here he hits him with the, at half your power, you won't even be able to touch me. I don't know about that, man. You look pretty beat up. But yo, this guy's genuinely insane. I don't know how he's standing up with that much pain, bro. And he hits Todoroki with a Naruto level speech, with the power isn't his, Todoroki, it's yours. And then Todoroki starts blazing up, talking about some, go man, Izuku. Even though I'm your enemy, you're helping me. Are you stupid or something? And then, in the stands, Endeavor geeking out, talking about some Shoto. The music starts to swell, and the two clash, man, obliterating the stadium. The soundtrack is so peak. And yeah, Shoto wins. Endeavor looking all happy and stuff, but then Todoroki hits him, I don't need you anymore. Back with Midoriya, we got some real bad news, man. He absolutely shattered his bones and he needs surgery, and that his arm will never be the same again. And like I said, man, you gotta be insane to do this, bro. Holy. I don't know how he's able to keep breaking his bones over and over again. After everything done by the healer, his arm is just cooked. He then walks with All Might, and Deku has some doubts. But here, All Might tells him that he used to be quirkless too. And look how he turned out. So why would he think that quirkless people couldn't be heroes if he did the same thing? Food for thought and stuff. We then get some other matches. We get Plant Hair versus Ida, which he wins by pushing her out. Tokoyami versus Mina, and again Dark Shadow just super strong. The next one is Kirishima versus Bakugo, and Kirishima just isn't able to stay hard enough, man. That's jokes, and Bakugo wins. The next one is between Ida and Todoroki, and Ida gets a nice kick in before Todoroki just freezes him. But unfortunately, losing ain't even the worst thing that happened to him today, bro. His brother, the hero Ingenium, who was hunting down the hero killer Stain, gets overpowered, and Ida gets a call that his brother is in the hospital. But we deal with that later, man, who cares? Next is Bakugo versus Tokoyami, but Bakugo a hard counter, so he wins. Leaving the final match between Shoto and Bakugo, and Bakugo getting rage baited because Todoroki brings up Deku, and he should be locked in against one of his strongest competitors in the tournament. Because even when he uses his biggest move, Bakugo just blasts through it, and he starts cooking him. And with Todoroki refusing to use his flames, he just isn't able to keep up. And Bakugo hits him with a Howitsa Impact, destroying him. But you know, he's real mad. I agree with him, bro. Why you taking him lightly? Like, that's not fair. I'd be mad too. But yeah, after that, there's the award ceremony, which is presented by All Might. Come on, Midnight. You're messing up his super cool hero landing. With Bakugo being first, Todoroki being second, and Tokiyama being third. Ida is also third, but he's not there because, you know, his brother. You already know what's going on, man. Yue, Bakugo Katsuki is not a monster, so stop treating him like he is one. Unreal fandom, dog. But yeah, now we catch up with Ida, and Ingenium not looking too good, with him being crippled. And with Todoroki, we see that he's, after all these years, visiting his mother. She's the real victim for real. After that, we learn that the students are basically celebrities, and even Ida seems okay, but not like the okay kind. He's like the crazy type of okay. Because after this, we see that some students get some offers to work with pro heroes, and anyone that didn't will get a placement through UA. So the tournament didn't matter. And Midnight walks in, and she's leading them in their hero naming session. I'm not gonna go over all of them because most of them are not that cool, but I'll try the cool ones, like Deku. Trust me, it's better than what he had in mind, which was Mighty Boy. He really is a fanboy. This is also a cool way for him to reclaim his like name that was used to like bully him when he was younger. Also, he likes that name because of Uraka, so yeah, it's a real cute scene. But then I'll show some cool ones. We got Tokiyami, who is Dark Might, Sato, who is Sugar Might, and of course Hard Might. There's also Gravity, Crazy, and of course Lord Explosion Murder. Banger names. And of course my personal favorite, which is like and subscribe if you're enjoying the video. And yeah, now they're accepting offers, with Midoriya getting one from All Might's mentor, Gran Torino, who's also friends with All Might's predecessor, and he's freaking out. All Might, what did he do to you to make you feel like this, man? But yeah, they're starting off their internships, man. And here Deku meets a new teacher, and his name is Gran Torino. And he's old and kind of like crazy. But yeah, as soon as he meets Midoriya, he just wants to test him, who declines since he thinks he's like just a crazy old man and he's just looking down on him. So Gran Torino beats him up. Also here we see that his suit got a upgrade, and this Loki looks fire, I can't lie. He even got them red Octobers on, man. His single mother goated, man. She locked in as hell. But yeah, he loses to Gran Torino and then had to think about how to increase his quirk, while Gran Torino looks at him like, you chose a good one, Toshinori. Let's take a look at what everybody else doing. So with Ida, he's working with Fishman. And let me explain this, okay? Ida got offers from like the big companies, okay? But he chose Fishman, even though he has a startup, because Fishman is in Hosu, which is where Stain is, okay? And Fishman knows this, okay? Even he's like, yo, why would you work with me when you got like better offers? And he tells him like, yo, don't hold any personal grudges, okay? What do you know, okay? His brother got injured, man. Come on now, like, I can't blame him for wanting revenge like that. Bakugo is with a top 5 hero, and his name is Best Genius, and he can control Denim. And he's basically gonna try to tame the wild dog that is Bakugo, which doesn't seem to be working. Tetsu and Kirishima end up at the same spot with 4 arms. He's blinged out though, and luckily for him, he can hit them as much as he wants. Kendo and Yaoyorozu end up with this lady, and she chose them because she thinks they are bad, and she's basically a model. I don't think she did one hero thing, by the way. Uraka is with Gunhead, and she's there so she can learn martial arts. Even though her quirk is better suited for disaster relief, she just wants to learn so she's like a better and more versatile hero. Jiro is with big arms, Mineta is with Mount Lady, but he Loki just her paperweight, and Todoroki is with his father. Just focus on Ida, Todoroki, and Deku, by the way. And Deku at nighttime starts experimenting with his quirk, and bro not looking too good in the morning, man. And Gran Torino tells him, for All Might, all you have to do was just beat him, since from the get-go All Might could just use the power. And you know, Gran Torino cool guy, man, look at him chilling and stuff. But yeah, after microwaving some fish, Midoriya gets an idea, which is to use One for all over him rather than just that one body part. I don't know why he didn't do that earlier, like, does not make the most sense. But yeah, he's smart, okay, so I can't say anything. And Gran Torino starts actually training him, and he low-key moving, man, he kinda cool. Like, to a point, Deku can catch him in 3 minutes. But Gran Torino sees potential in him, so you know, it's a good thing. But he's still getting beat. After some time, the two go out on patrol, and here we hear from All Might, basically going over the Nomu thing again, that has no brain function, has multiple quirks, and All Might thinking, oh my god, it can't be that guy. We get to see that Stain met up with Shigaraki, and he cut him up because he doesn't like the way he thinks. But after seeing how much hate Shigaraki has in his heart, he wants Shigaraki to flourish, and these two group up, with them teleporting back to Hosu, and Stain and Nomu going on hunts, with Nomu attacking the train that Deku's on, so Gran Torino mobilizes, and yeah, it's a large attack, man. Ida's also in the city, and he's on his way to help when he sees Stain hunting down a hero, and bro looking at him with pure hatred, man, promising revenge for his brother Ingenium. Deku also goes after Gran Torino, but he doesn't have to worry, since the number 2 hero Endeavor is there. And here Deku sees that Ida is missing, and yeah, he's actually getting destroyed by Stain. And Stain talking about how the Hero Society is now just a popularity race, with heroes just doing it for fame and money. Thank God he didn't run to Gravity, man, he would have killed her. But yeah, he's saying that Ida is not a true hero, saying he's not even thinking about the injured hero, and just focuses on avenging his brother. Which is not that crazy, okay? There's nobody hurt someone's blood relative, somebody that they love, then think that, yo, you shouldn't be feeling like this just because you want to be a hero. I know he's insane, okay? But still, it doesn't make any sense. This isn't hero work anymore, it's personal. Like, even if he wasn't a hero, I feel like he'd still be chasing it down. Then what would you say? You're not a hero, so it's not gonna hurt me. I still like Stain, don't get it twisted, but yeah. Deku pulls up and he thinks the same thing as me, okay? He's like, yo, he's saying anything just to validate his own personal belief and that he's an insane fanatic, okay? He then hits him with the Detroit Smash. At that angle, that boy should be paralyzed, but instead Midori gets paralyzed, and just as he's about to finish off Ida, Todoroki pulls up because Midori sent out a text earlier, and yeah, he's in full control of both sides, and he starts fighting Stain. And here we learn that Stain's quirk is Blood Curdle. He can paralyze somebody after licking the blood, with blood type affecting how long someone's paralyzed. Hopefully whoever he comes across doesn't have HIV or AIDS, okay? And of course on top of that, he's also an incredible fighter. But even Todoroki talking about some, my family not only move the dark side. Look at the look on your face, Ida. But my guy, his brother was crippled. Come on now. I don't think the way he's moving and thinking is that crazy, okay? Yes, be a better man than that, but that's his family, bro. I'm telling you. Deku, if somebody happened to his, like, mom or All Might, he'd be moving crazy too. That's all I'm saying. Todoroki, I can see, like, he hates his family and stuff. But yeah, eventually the quirk wears off on Deku since he's whatever. But yeah, it's a 2v1 against Stain with Ida crying in the background. And I guess it's all getting to him since he's just contemplating his life. Also, in getting like a 12th generation hero, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that, but that's kind of cool. But yeah, after a whole lot of fighting, Ida wakes up and saves Todoroki from being cut in half. The three team up on Stain. And with support from Todoroki, Ida and Midoriya hit him with a two-way smashu. And Ida not holding back, man. I swear that guy's passed out. Yo, chill, bro. But yeah, they apprehend him. Loki, he deserves that hit, okay? I mentioned the Nomus, and Endeavor just cooking them, okay? He dealing with them because he's number 2 hero, man. And he sends up Gran Torino to go look for the students. And this has got to be lethal force. And you're telling me that this 8', 500 man can somehow run on walls like this? Yeah, no wonder he's the number 2 hero, man. He's an abuser, but put respect on his name, okay? If I saw this as like a villain, I'm turning my life around. I'm so sorry. This is generally what I assume like a level 1 crook feels when he sees like Batman running to him, okay? Like, this is crazy, bro. We are not built for this. But yeah, Gran Torino and some other heroes pull up on the students. And here Midori gets snatched by the flying Nomu that escaped Endeavor. But Stain hits a licky and saves him. And then delivers a powerful speech about how he wants to create a stronger society. He then sets his sight on Endeavor and he starts tweaking, talk about some yo, and how the streets will run with the blood of the fakes, and how the only hero that can kill him is All Might. But then he passes out because of a broken rib or something. Y'all gotta put respect on him, man. He's insane, but he stands up business. He had them boys geeked and scared, bro. That's crazy. The students are then taken to a hospital, and the dog person, who's the chief of police, who likes to bark when he talks, you know, he's like, hey, you're such a nice person, woof, type shift. It's very cute. But yeah, he says that you technically weren't allowed to use your quirk because they weren't certified or something, but they were gonna get killed, or somebody else was gonna get killed. But he's a good guy, okay? And by saying that Endeavor dealt with the hero killer, the kids can get away scot-free. But he low-key rage-based them before telling them all this, so Todoroki argues back and then calls him a mutt. That's gotta be a slur if you're a dog person, come on now. And all's well that end well, except for Ida, whose arm is permanently damaged and might get fixed with surgery though. But he's not gonna do it until he's like a real hero or something. Luckily, he just used the leg, so it's okay. Another person that's not going too well for is Shigaraki, since nobody's talking about his Nomus, but everybody's talking about Stain. So yeah, he's pissed about that. And also for all the pros who get a pay cut and they lose their teaching license for 6 months. So yeah. And here, Gran Torino hits up All Might and tells him about everything. He even glazes Stain, saying that he's just like All Might, with the same tenacity and that. That's crazy. That's not all though. A video of his speech where he scares all the heroes is also leaked online. And so many people are being inspired by this. Like, yeah, maybe heroes shouldn't be like that, or they shouldn't get the fame they deserve. Basically, a true hero should suffer to help others. Basically ending up like Spider-Man, man. His real life is in shambles, but you know, at least he helps, which is crazy to say. And that's why I disagree with this. Like, come on, bro. Look at how much he suffers on a daily just to help people. He deserves some compensation, at least. Man, Spider-Man my goal, man. I even have his Fortnite skin, which is where I'll shamelessly plug my other channel, man. Go check it out. I play video games. Although I use a different account, so it's technically I'm a default. The next episode is straight filler. We get to see Bakugo's new look, And we see that Best Genius is trying his best to tame it, but it's not working. I said this before, didn't I? Gravity is working on her gun hand martial arts. Yao and Kendo are seeing pure stardom. Lucky Stain didn't see this, he'd kill everybody here. Kirishima and Tetsutetsu with forearms are doing public service, which I like, hero stuff. Jiro is helping in a hostage situation, but the focus is on Sue, who's working with Seal Man, and he can do everything a seal can. That rhymed. And his vice captain, who has really good hearing. And I ship these two, I think they into each other. It's real cute. But they're doing a drug bust, which is led by this tentacle monster. But yeah, they take him down. Real successful and stuff. I don't know what I can say about this. Okay, it's a snooze fest. After that, we go back to the regular classroom, and they're talking about the internships and stuff, with the three getting glazed. But yeah, even Ida agreeing that in the video, Stain does look real cool. They then start the lesson with All Might, which will be a hero race in this obstacle course looking place. This school is super rich, okay? This is actually crazy. And this is our first group, with everyone here being excellent at traversing, and everybody ruling on Midoriya, but that's because they haven't seen him locked in. And yeah, he blasts past the competition until he has a slip and ends up losing. He gets glazed from All Might though. Then we have a locker room scene with Mineta being a freak, but luckily Jiro's there to clock him. And I guess All Might thinks that Midoriya's ready for all the deep talk and stuff, so he hits him with the, first of all, don't stress about Stain. Even though he drank your blood, he won't get the super power because of intention and stuff. That's cool, he wasn't worried about that though. And here we get the iconic eat this type stuff. But then he starts talking about how when powers came out, society can regulate them, and one man took over the entire world. And this man had the quirk where he could take others' powers and give them powers and all that stuff. And this man's name was All for Wanda. And yeah, that's a big bad guy that gave All Might his injury. His game-ending injury, man, that's crazy. But yeah, that guy had a little brother who didn't have a quirk, and he didn't like that, so he gave him a stockpiling quirk. But what he didn't know was that the brother actually had a quirk. Wanda lets him pass down a quirk, which is where one for all is made. Good is made in evil and stuff, okay? And here, All Might tells him, like, eventually, you're gonna have to go against him too. And Midoriya's like, yeah, I got this. Don't worry, All Might. And of course, Midoriya's gonna go against that evil man. He breaks every bone in his body just to, like, keep fighting. Of course he got that. He's that crazy. And yeah, at the end of the episode, we see the face of the monster. And goddamn, what did All Might do to you, bro? I'm so sorry. Holy. Also, he's a master of Shigaraki. I don't know if I mentioned that. Very epic. Next episode starts off with the symbols of fan service, Mount Lady, and Midnight. At least they're of age, okay? And they're showing off her old costume. And yeah, she's the reason they got sexy regulations or something. But yeah, this is just Mineta's cooning material. I don't know why I mentioned it. But yeah, now our students have to lock in for the final exams, bro. With Yao Yorozu showing off her intellect. I hate saying her name. I'm gonna call her Momo, okay? Momo tutoring her classmates. And I guess I should mention that Bakugo tweaks out of Midoriya for using his quirk like Bakugo. And Nazaba thinking like, yo, there's something wrong with that boy. The students go over to Yao Momo's house. That's even better. And here they get financially mogged and they get tutored with Bakugo teaching Kirishima. People also ship these two, by the way. But they basically act like me and my homeboy, so what does that mean? The other section is a practical exam, and Kendo tells them that it'll be against robots. Right after Monoma clowns 1A for being the center of attention and beating Stain. It ain't even their fault, okay? But I like Monoma, so it's okay. The class then does their written, and for the practical, the information was wrong. They have to battle it out against their teachers in a 2-on-1 battle in assigned teams. With the teachers having the disadvantage of weights on their body that add half of their body weight to their physique. And this stuff is made by Hotspur, by the way, the GOAT. But yeah, they can win by either cuffing the teacher or just running away. The first match is between Sato and Kirishima versus Cementos. They try to smash their way through, but Cementos overwhelms them and they win. The second one is Tokoyami and Sue against Cloning Man, and because of the good communication and coordination, and because both of them have strong quirks, they fight their way to the exit gate, where Cloning Man pulls out his extra large attack, apprehends them, but Dark Shadow distracts him. Sue spits out the cuffs she put in her stomach. For some reason, like, he saw Dark Shadow take something from them. Obviously it's the cuffs. Why'd you have to put it in her stomach? Why not, like, on her belt or something? He would've noticed anyway, but I guess he doesn't, since they're able to cuff him. Winning. I guess it counts even though they got like one peg leg, but whatever. Ojiro and Ida are against Power Loader. I don't know his power. And they win by Ida tossing Ojiro out the gate. The next is Yaomomo and Todoroki against Aizawa, who's sitting there like he Batman, bro. Who's he feeling like? And Shoto leading the two because after the match with Tokoyami, Yaomomo feels doubt and just isn't feeling like she's a good hero and all that. And after a run-in with Aizawa, which leads with Shoto being caught and getting some advice, Momo runs the other way. She then gets caught by Aizawa, but he lets her go back to Todoroki, and this time Shoto reveals that he voted for her to be class rep, and this gives her some confidence. She flashes Aizawa, pause, frees Todoroki, telling him to just listen up and create a giant ice wall, giving Momo time to like set up her little trinkets and stuff. And yeah, after a fail, they're able to apprehend him. Yeah, Momo thinks that he went easy on them, but he explained that he didn't, and that she's just like that. And it's revealed that he used this exam as a way for her to get her confidence back. I thought about go to teacher, man. And yeah, she deserves it. She's an excellent student. She's number one in studies, and she was also number one in like the fitness test and stuff. I know I keep bringing it up, but like still. So it's a good thing she locked in now. Next up is between Ochako and Aoyama against 13, and they're getting cooked. But after some love talk, which luckily for them, 13 is holding back, okay? If she didn't turn her quirk up, Ochako would be cooked. So yeah, they won because of luck, by the way. Although she does do a cool gunhead martial arts stuff. So yeah, it's cool. The next match is between Nezu, the principal, and he's actually an animal with a quirk, not a human that looks like that. And he is against Mina and Kaminari. And he was tested on by humans for a long time. So he has like a sadistic side, and he's not holding back, and he like destroys them easily. They stood no chance. Next is between Jiro and Koda, and at the start, she made fun of President Mike, calling him the announcer guy. And now he's getting his revenge, man. He camps by the exit and just screams. And they're struggling heavy. But Jiro kind of like counters him with her like heartbeats or something. I don't get it. And she tells Koda to lock in, man. You're trying to be a hero. Because he's scared of bugs, and they can win by just controlling bugs. But yeah, he had the superhero moment. And I didn't even know he could talk either, to be honest. And I even talked shit about him, but he gave President Mike a fate worse than death, man. I'm so sorry for talking shit about you. You're like that, okay? I apologize. And yeah, the two win. The next is Invisible Girl and Shoji against Snipe. And yeah, she does clutch in this, okay? I'll okay apologize for her too. They did have to ruin it by doing the, oh my god, Snipe, you're pervert. Oh, I didn't know you were invisible. Okay, I'm so sorry. They should have given her at least a force field. I think I just wanted her to be Invisible Girl. Like, I don't know. The next is Zero and Mineta versus Midnight. And Zero is immediately out. Although, I don't know if this is a loss, okay? Bro, get this cougar away from him. Also, her quirk is a gas that she produces from her skin that basically knocks you out. And Mineta is saved by Zero. He's pissed to a point where he's crying blood because he has to work harder while Zero gets a nap in the cougar's lab. And here we learn that he wants to be a hero so he can get girls. It's an honest answer, so I can't like hate on it too much. Y'all would have done for the same reason, man. And eventually Midnight pushes him, whipping him. And here we see that his quirk is actually good for apprehension and stuff. And he uses a grey brush to lock her up and pass the exams. The last one is of course Bakugo and Deku versus the symbol of peace, All Might. And of course Bakugo's not going to work with Deku because he hates him. And also wants to prove that he can do everything by himself. But All Might instantly shows by he's number one, destroying the entire city in one hit. And he's not holding back at all. And with their bad teamwork, they're looking getting cooked. Yo, whoa, should you be hitting him? Wrong person, yo. And he hits him right back. What are y'all doing, bro? Fight the other person. And you know, they run away eventually. And Bakugo hits him with the arm thing. No wonder people ship them, man. What are y'all doing? But yeah, after this bonding moment, I guess the two are locked in. And they're able to put some distance between them and All Might. Although he catches up in no time. He's not even in his top speed, by the way. He starts ragdolling Midoriya, with Bakugo thinking that he is power itself. And Bakugo realizing that All Might's too strong, he grabs Midoriya and starts tossing him to the gate. But All Might gives him straight back shot, giving him scoliosis. I know he broke Deku's back right there. Bakugo then holds All Might back while Midoriya tries escaping. But Midoriya comes back, since he can't leave anyone behind. He's a hero, and that smashes All Might right in the face and escapes with Bakugo. But with the nurse, we learned that they could have had permanent damage. And that All Might really wasn't holding back. Like, yo, what the hell? What are you talking about? Let's go back to the villains for a second, and they get two new members. And these guys were inspired by Stain. There's Toga, and she's crazy, and she likes to stab. She's like, oh, Mr. Stainy, I want to stab you. I want to see your blood. And the other one's Dabi, and he's hiding his real name, and he's like all cool and nonchalant and stuff. Shigaraki, of course, doesn't like them, and he tweaks out, and they almost like kill each other. He then leaves to cool off. But yeah, these guys for sure joining the team, by the way. But let's just go back real quick. And since no one failed the written, and even though some failed the practical, they all get to go to training camp, which is like the main thing, I guess, that if they pass, they get to go to training camp, and everybody's real excited. Although failing meant nothing, they would have still got to go. It was just like a white lie told by like the administration, so they like lock in and stuff. But yeah, the entire class groups up and they go shopping together, and you know, everybody wants different stuff, so they split up. I thought it was gonna be like a boring slice of life episode or something. Like, I don't want that in an action show. But here, Midoriya, who's left alone, gets rolled upon by Shigaraki, and he getting real handy with him, bro. What's happening? This is also a complete accident, by the way. He didn't know he was gonna be here. But yeah, they sit, they talk about ideals, motivations, all that philosophical stuff, and there's no one gonna question why a high school boy is getting choked by an old man. But yeah, after talking, I guess that boy gets a good answer. Look at that cute face, man. Aw, so cute, so cute. I think he's the happiest man alive. But yeah, this kind of makes him feel like everything he hates because of All Might, who should take him out and destroy society and stuff, while Izuku's getting choked. Ochako then pulls up on them, and she's like, oh my god, are you okay, Deku? Bro, are you stupid? He's getting choked out. Come on, now help him. But yeah, Shigaraki stops and he leaves with an even stronger conviction, all thanks to Deku. Also, they can't chase him because his quirk is like super destructive and he would just start massacring so many people. They did the smart thing and report to the police, who then take Deku in for questioning, and then he has to talk to All Might and have to deal with the worried mother. But yeah, the season ends with Deku looking forward to the training camp. Thank you for watching, like and subscribe.